One thing that we all need to be concerned with is, as you've heard today, ensuring that broadband is made available in unserved communities and underserved communities. What does that mean? Well, we had a great debate in the committee about how we would define unserved and underserved, and we decided to punt the ball, Commissioner, and to give that responsibilities to more informed people. But we could not reach a final decision on what those terms mean. We know what unserved means. I guess we know it means it doesn't exist. But to define underserved is a very challenging thing. My district, as you heard a moment ago, is in North Carolina. I represent the eastern part of our state, which is a very rural and very poor community. In fact, my district is the 4th district from the bottom. Out of all the 435 districts in Congress, my district is number 4 from the bottom in terms of average median family income. And so I have a particular interest in rural broadband. I'm not particularly proud of the designation as the 4th poorest district in the country, but it is a sad fact. Whether it's transitioning from an outdated manufacturing sector to a thriving green economy, or reforming the health care delivery system to ensure that millions of uninsured have access to quality and affordable health care, or if it's getting rural and low-income communities plugged into the information superhighway, my district, my dear district, is facing changing circumstances and a transitioning community that will directly benefit from much of the change and investment that this country asked for last November. While making broadband available is one of our primary concerns, we must not fail to address many other significant barriers to adoption, particularly in the African American community, that prevents so many households from accessing this technology. And I can tell you that the Congressional Black Caucus is vitally interested in the digital divide, and it's a topic that we are paying particular attention to. In fact, this week I will have an issue workshop dealing with broadband. We know that the gap is closing, particularly if you factor in the use of mobile devices to connect to the internet. But African American citizens, particularly in rural communities such as mine, are not adopting broadband in the home at the same pace as other segments of the population. Access to a computer in the home and the cost of services and overall income, and frankly, not understanding the world that broadband makes available to us, are all of the factors that each of us as leaders must address in this conversation. We must do more as elected officials. We must increase our dialogue with our constituents and our communities to ensure that African American families are not left out on the outside looking in when it comes to taking advantage of these critical resources that have recently been made available. The telecommunications industry represents a thriving, multi-billion-dollar industry that, right along with a green technology, will determine the fundamental competitiveness of the United States for years to come. As a member of the committee, and I'm honored to be on this committee, and particularly as a new member of the Telecommunications Subcommittee, I am just amazed at the speed in which this industry is evolving and the pace at which it is innovating. I've been on a few tours of some of our companies that are investing in new technology, and it's just amazing. And we have to make sure that our communities understand the virtues of broadband technology and why it is critically important that they be in a position to take advantage of it. At the same time, it is our responsibility to make sure that you are prepared and understand how important broadband is so that you can be an effective messenger and help us get the message out to our communities. From education to entrepreneurship, we know that broadband can and will change the way we function as a society. It already has changed the way children do homework assignments or how they communicate with their peers across the globe. It has even changed the way members of Congress do business. Most of our communication now is through a BlackBerry and not through the telephone. In fact, I won't even give out my cell phone number anymore. I've asked people just to email me, and when it's convenient for me, I return the call. Telecommunications will change even the health delivery process in this country through innovations in telehealth, something that I have certainly been concerned about. We are working on a project, and I hope to see it reach fruition in the years to come. In my district, we have bad indicators, terrible health indicators in terms of heart disease and hypertension and diabetes and all of the other chronic conditions that people suffer from. But we have a disproportionate number in my congressional district. We are working on a project now with telecommunication. We call it telehealth or telemedicine, where a chronically ill patient, instead of going to the doctor's office, can get up in the morning and she can get on a scale and get her weight taken, and that data is transmitted electronically to a database. She can then get her blood pressure checked, and other processes can be used to collect data from this individual right in the home. And this data can then be transmitted to a medical professional that can analyze the data over a period of time. It can be done every day, and when it's seen that the patient is in some danger zone, then health care can be dispatched to the patient. That not only helps the patient and her family, but it also saves dollars for our government. And so we have a lot of new technology that is ongoing, and many of you are involved in innovation, and I just want to thank you for what you do. Thank you for reaching out to us on Capitol Hill, because we have great challenges. In the face of this recession, we're not going to stop investing in America. The American people are counting on it. That's what last November was all about, and so we have some exciting days ahead, and I want to work with each one of you. There are 3 members of the Congressional Black Caucus on the Energy and Commerce Committee, and we are eager to continue to reach out and to strengthen our relationship as we go forward. And so now we can get down to eating. Some of you have already started, and I'm going to do the same. Thank you very much. Right.